So what's your fondest memory of Frankie being in Harang?
Wow, that's a tricky question.
Cross-dressing?
Yeah.
Cross-dressing?
Yeah, I was thinking about that also. But I mean, the key thing for me to have Frankie in Harang was that it was Frankie in Harang. It was about his person. I mean, I run some kind of meetings in Harang every night at 9 o'clock. And Frankie was always my reference. I mean, he sat there in the audience. Every meeting he was there. I don't think he has missed a single meeting for 20 years or something.
Wow.
He was always there. And he was my kind of reference. And partly, I think also, when those meetings developed from just a little information into something a little bit more entertaining, inside me, it was kind of, I felt sometimes that we did those meetings for Frankie. And it sounds strange, there were 400 persons in the audience, but by some reason it felt like this is for Frankie. And I don't know why. It was just that feeling many of us had. And he always added a lot in those meetings. He was the one, when I needed to ask who was in that movie and who played that music, yeah, it was always Frankie. So I think that Frankie, I remember, it is seeing Frankie from stage in Harang. It's actually, because he was always there. And then of course the classes, he was always singing kind of in the classes. And it was good spirit, very good spirit in his classes. Especially in the 90s when he was teaching, should we say, quite a lot of classes, and he had more energy than he maybe had in the recent years. And I mean, he was full of action, and he was always very lively around him in a very, very nice way.
Yeah, what was this nightly meeting in Harang in 9 p.m.? What is the meeting about?
No, the meeting it was from the beginning a place where we gave information about what was happening at the camp and so on. So it was a 10-minute thing.
But then,
yeah, in the beginning. So then we sat, maybe 5, 6 of us organizers on stage. It was very informal. It was just a way to give some information.
Just to say tomorrow the 8 o'clock class is shifted to which room, and it's very factual.
I see.
And then gradually they changed a little bit, and we were trying to give a little bit of entertainment during the meetings. It could be very stupid things at the time. There is a guy that also has been very important for Harang. His name is Kalle Johansson, Swedish guy, lives in America now. And it was me and him technically running the meetings a little bit. So it was me being in the middle of the meetings, and then before the meetings, maybe 10 minutes before, I said to Kalle, you have to come up and be funny and tell about the weather tomorrow. And he said, okay, I'll do that. And next day, okay, Kalle, bring your guitar, sing something.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I'll do that. So that was the beginning of the entertainment part. It was Kalle very often, and sometimes we did a dance number. But then gradually they turned into a little bit of a talk show of some kind, and now they are a little bit of a show every night now. So now it's a lot of people working, producing those meetings. And Frankie was for me he was my reference for a lot of things at those meetings.
I think the meetings were important because during the camp daytime, there are many classes everywhere, so people are scattered, and there's no one time where we all sit together and focus on one thing. So the meetings was that gathering, and at first it was just to give factual information, but I think it really developed because everyone was there, so this was the time that we can talk about a show of film, and we show films too.
There was a lot of film clips and things like that. But I agree with you, Sim, what you say. I was never thinking about it that way, but when I look upon it, it is a way to bring people together.
Yeah.
And it was also, for me sometimes I was thinking, it is good if I make fun of the teachers a little bit. Because there is a pyramid where the teachers are up here and the beginners, they are down here somewhere.
Right.
And I like the idea of sometimes bringing some teachers on stage and dress them in strange clothes, ask them stupid questions, insult them, things like that.
Right.
Because I think it actually brought people together a little bit. Because then the students felt, oh, we can actually do that with those teachers.
Icebreaker.
Because, something
That's why
like
you
that.
say the interviews, he put people on stage and ask them irreverent and irrelevant questions. And it became a fun thing, and people started volunteering to do these nonsense things.
But it works. Nowadays it's kind of a professional setting of the whole thing.
Right.
So in the beginning it was a little bit,
Very random.
like that. But when people started to kind of like it, then it became, okay, where is the light man? We take care of the sound.
Oh.
Okay, we need a layout. Who is doing the background? Who is finding the films? Who is putting together? Blah blah blah. So then it was a lot of people involved suddenly,
I see.
which has developed it into a kind of at least semi-professional kind of setting. But from the beginning, it was really an amateur kind of thing.
And of course, the technology things can improve. Like
Yeah.
they would show on a tonight's meeting, today's event. You know, someone edited
Right,
a
okay.
stupid film. I mean, they usually put together a skit or something. Or
Okay.
today in the sauna, and then they show it.
So whatever that's interesting
Yeah.
for that day.
And that's technology allowing us
So-
to do that.
And it seems like it is a little bit acceptable in those meetings, and maybe in Harangue in general, to take things a little bit further than you would do in another context. That's how I feel it. It is accepted to be a little bit more this or that or this or that. You can push it a little bit further, which I think is quite fun in a way. I think it's fun to do that.
And it brings out creativity. It's a setting for creativity, which then translates to the dance. If I can be stupid up on stage, okay, I can be stupid on the dance. So it's okay.
Wow, it's been like 20 minutes. So maybe we move on. Because like Lindy has started from the 1920s, 1930s, 40s, and now we're in 2010 now. So how do you think Lindy will evolve in the future?
That's a tricky question. But I mean, the way I look upon it is Lindy, since the revival in the early 80s or whatever we say, late 70s maybe, I mean, Lindy has never been, except for a short period in America maybe, it's never been an in thing. It has been a kind of very stable interest for it. I mean, in the beginning small, and then it has gradually done this because there is a new person picking it up from this city, there is a new person from that country, and so on. And so then gradually it has done this. And it seems to me right now that it is not, Lindy is not a follower of general fashion of some kind. It seems instead it grows from the strength that is within the dance itself. So the way I look upon it now is that it has a good possibility, I think, to continue to grow like this. I don't think it will grow like that. Like if something will be in, it can happen in a few months, suddenly everyone should do this or buy this product or something. But Lindy seems to have a very solid interest there. So the feeling I have is that it will continue to grow, but not fast, but it will grow with a decent speed.
But what about the dance itself? Let's say maybe 50 years from now, and we take a look at videos that we took in 2010. Will we recognize it as Lindy, or we will see, oh, that's Lindy, but it's something different?
I mean, I think both me and you have seen a lot of trends in the Lindy. I mean, suddenly people should dance with a hip-hop flavor. Then it was some kind of West Coast swing flavor. Then it had a blues flavor. It was the 20s flavor. It was rhythm and blues flavor. So that will change probably all the time. Some people, they stay with very, should we say, some kind of authenticity around everything, while some other people are doing like this.
Right.
So what kind of trends that will come, that's tricky to say anything about.
And it's reflective of Lindy Hop because it never was that Lindy Hop is just this, even in the 30s when it was developed. It was always about what's happening around. So it was never like, okay, this is Lindy Hop. Yes, we had House of Hopping to show us a dance of Lindy Hop on that day for this movie, and yes, they all danced like that day.
Okay.
But we can't really say that Frankie danced like that every day.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Another day he might be doing some mambo. We've seen him do
Yeah.
Frankie do mambo and Peabody or whatever. And I think Lindy will always have flavors. I mean, there's certain essence which, because of the music we use, there should be some base similarity through the years. But in terms of styling or what the people wear and everything, that will change, and that is part of what Lindy Hop is and the beauty that it can.
I mean, I've always been trying to work a little bit more on the authentic side in a way, a little bit conservative. I don't like all the trends that sometimes are coming into Lindy because I think inside I feel a little bit like a kind of a jazz musician inside. So I refer everything I do to jazz music. So if someone brings in a lot of hip hop or something, I'm not even interested because I don't even like hip hop. And it's a lot of other things, other flavors that some people bring tango into it. I like tango. But I don't like the idea so much to just try to mix those two. It's not for me. It's for someone else. So I think there will be a lot of those things coming and going. But I think there will always be people that wants to say, okay, what is swing dancing? What is jazz dancing? What is jazz music? And those people will probably be in the center for it in a way, just like Frankie was. I mean, he's always stayed with, he probably changed, as you said, over the years a little bit, but he stayed, when he played music, it was pure swing music. He was never moving into this or moving into that or something. He stayed with what I think the dance once was, kind of.
Well, he did the electric side a lot.
Yeah.
In the 70s, he said.
Yeah, but when he was teaching now, I mean, we all know the songs he often played, and it was kind of pure swing all the time. Very pure. So I think those people will always be, and then the trends will come and go.
Okay. So something unrelated to Lindy. Do you have any hidden talent?
Yes, he does, but it's so hidden that.
Do you share this?
I don't think I have a lot of talent. Maybe it is writing. I have
Writing.
I think I have some talent for writing. But that's maybe the only talent I have discovered throughout the years.
Right.
The rest is, I mean, dance-wise, I'm far away from a natural dancer. The beginning was, it didn't work very well. It took many, many years with a lot of passion and interest to make anything happen. Nowadays, it seems like some people with talent, and maybe even people without a strong talent, it takes a very short period and they do very well. But so I don't know what happened in the 80s, but of course we didn't have a social scene. We could only look at the films. We didn't know what it was really. Today when a beginner comes, he can pick up all that information in a week or two, and he knows what it is. He can see the films on the internet. There are teachers around. And I mean, we didn't have that, so it took a very long time to learn anything, I would say. And I felt that most of us at the time when we started, those people I worked with, I can't say that we had a lot of talent, but we had a lot of passion, and we did it a lot all the time. And then, of course, gradually you could develop also without talent. So I would say writing, maybe I have a little talent for.
Yes.
No, that's the only thing that I can think of.
What do you write about?
No, it could be anything. I think I have a good feeling for the rhythmical melody of writing. Because to me it's related to music.
Poetry?
Yeah, it could be poetry also, yeah. But I think it is like dancing or music. It's the same thing. You need to have rhythm when you write. It's the same thing.
We need a poem about Lindy.
Yes.
That would be tricky. Wow. I don't really think of writing and Lindy in the same kind of... But at the same time, it's art. So it could melt together maybe.
I can talk about his talent since he was.
Oh, please do, please do.
You have another session.
Now wait a second.
No, but we use it to talk about it. No, I think his talent, part of his talent, whether it's talent or personality, is the big, the ability to see beyond the surface of the art of dance, and I think because he's thought about it, maybe it's through the passion, whatever, but I would say it's a talent to be able to think about it and then express it, and that's why your classes are very valuable, because you can express very abstract concepts in clear and simple language, or communicate it very well, like from the beginner's class where you transform them from counting people 1, 2, 3, 4 into Oompa Chunka. And you put it into words, you know, and people like Don and Frankie, they have that talent to dance, but they didn't have so much the talent to put it into words, because they didn't have to think about it. Perhaps they can go to onka and we have to try and do that, but you could speak about it and
Put into words.
communicate it to the students in your second language.
I think